Let's address one concern at a time, one particular issue at a time, because this is like an engine. So I cannot help you to understand every component right off the bat. We have to look at one screw at a time. Right. So let's start with the first question from you. Ask a very specific question about this big problem that we are facing. Just look at one angle. I give you an example.
I just want to stop this one.
My big problems is, as I told you, but right now I don't know if I want to.
Okay, so I just want to jump in on this one because this is something I apply. Is one small problem, because you can't solve the bigger problem, because the bigger problem is always a collection of smaller focuses to get the bigger problem solved.
Yeah.
So I know if that's what the basis of the video is, this is something I apply daily to my life, because even in my work, I can't close your loan, which is your big problem, unless I deal with all the details to enable that to happen. Is that what we're focusing on in this video?
This video series is not about...
Well, not this video series, just this video.
Same thing. It's not about how to do things.
Okay.
It's about how to communicate.
Okay. Thank you.
Can terminate this meeting so I can go to lunch or not because I'm hungry. So that thing is a 1% of 1% of 1% of this big problem, but it's a problem. It's easier to us to tackle a tiny problem at a time so that you and I learn how to work together before we enter the cave.
Mm.
You get me?
Mm.
You and I need to solve one tiny problem first. You may want to shut that down.
Yeah.
You and I should practice working together to solve a tiny problem outside of the cave first.
Right.
Because when we enter the cave, my life depends on you, your life depends on me, and if we don't know how each other works, our relationship breaks down before it has a chance to start.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
So, look at one tiny problem in the big picture and ask me a question about that first. Give me a chance to feel like I'm successful in helping you first.
How do you know what to focus on the most?
The first step is to understand what focus means. Exactly, objectively, applicable in every context. Do you know what focus means?
To me, I'll say unshakable concentration, meaning concentrating on one thing, putting all your energy towards one thing.
You are relabeling the concept. Relabeling doesn't explain. Relabeling doesn't define. So, what's concentrating?
Focus.
There you go. You're not doing the job I'm
Yeah.
asking you to do. Try again. If you don't understand that concept, you cannot practice it.
Doing focus is the thing that drives.
You can focus on this conversation, but you also need to be aware of the sound environment. So when a big truck goes by, suspend the conversation.
Right.
And so focusing doesn't mean that you give up all the senses. You cannot focus if you're not aware of what's going on around you.
So what's focus?
I'm going to give you a chance to define that first.
Focus is being able to do the thing that your heart desires. Starting from even without having the full picture of what it is, it's just being able to, for me to focus, like I focus on boxing or training. When I focus, I just have a mission, a goal in my mind, and I'm trying my hardest to attain that goal that I've already seen in my mind. I just want to bring it to my reality, and I'm just focusing. I'm putting all my energies towards that one. My information is going there. My energy is leading me there. I'm immersed in that one.
So the truck would serve as a distraction to the focus of the conversation. So by pausing the conversation, you're allowing the person, the listener, who you're relaying the information to not be distracted by the truck that would impact your message. Is that accurate?
Sure, but that's not the point.
Okay. What am I missing from the point of because to me, I'm thinking about awareness.
The point is that you cannot practice a concept if you cannot understand what it is.
Okay.
And if you cannot explain what it is, you don't understand what it is. He couldn't explain what focus is. So how can he focus?
Oh, okay. I kind of like when we started with the galaxy, he starts way out and we're not at the exact point.
But this is about focusing in his life, for his
Focusing
life.
in life. Okay.
First in that one thing, and that's what I think is focus, but at the same time, as human beings, we are all expressions of different energies, so there's so many things you can get attracted to. There's so many things that are also so many things, but numerous things that right now myself, like I'll say, I feel pulled towards boxing.
When you see me raising my hands like this, if my hands are close to my face, then you're at the solar system level. But if you see me extending my hands all the way, you're talking about the galaxy again. Okay? So let's consider this to be a conversation between you and your son, and he's in first grade.
Wow.
Explain to him what focusing means. Try again. When I clap, it's for my film editing purpose. It's not for you. So that I can I know how to align all the segments.
If I was to talk to my son in first grade, tell him what focus is.
He's right here. Look at him. Focus on your son and explain to him what focus means. Look at him. Keep your eyes on him. Your facial expression is not from a father to a son. You need to wear your father hat right now And you have to show that your facial expression is for your son, not for me.
All right, 1 second.
Dad, what focusing means?
I'll see. Doing something, completing a task without distraction. You know, I don't know. I can't explain that.
Okay. Now you see why most people fail to focus. Not because they don't want to, but because they don't understand the concept. Therefore, they fail to practice. Thank goodness we had Steve Jobs. In 1997, I believe that's the year, he stood in front of his company
Can I
with
take the phone call?
almost all of his engineers. And you know Steve Jobs, of
Mhm.
course. And he explained to his engineers what focus means and how to practice it. And that is what I would go by. Focusing, that means say no. To everything else.
Doesn't that still apply to immerse yourself to one particular thing? If you immerse yourself to something, that means you're.
That's not saying no.
You should say no to anything else.
Yes.
Mm. I see.
And the reason why he had this conversation, because I speculate that half of his engineers hated him for changing his mind. And that's why he explained to them, I'm saying no, because the company has to focus on this, but not that. That's why I had to say no to that, even though I understand that you guys put in a lot of effort for that, but we are focusing on this. Until you know how to practice the art of saying no, you don't know how to practice focusing for the things that you're trying to concentrate on.
That's deep. That's deep.
The reason why you heard a long pause, a big silence from me before you said that's deep, because I was practicing respect of reciprocation.